You want to get better at football, fast. But here's the brutal truth. If you train, think, and play like everyone else, you'll end up exactly where they are, nowhere near the top. The real secret? There's a system, a way of approaching the game that accelerates your progress so much it feels like cheating. And no, it's not about genetics, luck, or having fancy gear. It's about a hidden layer of training, psychology, and tactical awareness that most players never even touch. In this video, I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how it works, step by step. We'll dive into the untold routines of pro players, the AI and tech revolutionizing training in 2025, and the psychological hacks that separate the best from the rest. But first, let's start with the biggest lie you've been told about football training. The fundamentals are not what you think. Most players chase complexity, more skills, more drills, more viral tutorials. But the players who improve fastest, they master the basics so deeply they don't even think about them. Johan Cruyff said it best. Playing football is very simple, but playing simple football is the hardest thing there is. At the highest level, the game is built on the cleanest, most basic actions: dribbling, passing, ball control, executed at speed, under pressure. The secret isn't doing more, it's doing the fundamentals with intention, purpose, and pressure. Every pass should have a target. Every touch should move you into space. Every dribble should sharpen your control. Train the basics like your game depends on them, because it does. If you're an under-17 player that wants to go pro, I made a completely free 1v1 playbook for you so you never freeze or lose the ball under pressure again. Click the first link in the description or pinned comment, fill out the form, and grab your free copy now. The AI and Tech Revolution in Training, 2025 update. You've been training the same way for years. Drills, cones, maybe a fitness tracker if you're fancy. But while you've been grinding, the game has changed. The pros aren't just training harder, they're training smarter. And the secret weapon? Artificial intelligence, high-speed cameras, and apps that track every touch, decision, and mistake with near-perfect accuracy. In 2025, AI isn't just for sci-fi movies, it's in the training ground. Studies show that deep learning models can now analyze player movements with 98.3% accuracy, detecting flaws in your technique, tactical decisions, and even your reaction time, in real time. High-speed cameras, capturing up to 1,000 frames per second, break down every dribble, pass, and defensive shift with millimeter precision. And it's not just about spotting mistakes, it's about predicting them before they happen. So how are the pros using this? Apps like DribbleUp give players personalized drills, track their progress, and even simulate game scenarios before they step on the pitch. Imagine having a digital coach in your pocket, telling you exactly where you're losing the ball, which foot you're overusing, and how to fix it, instantly. And it's not just for elite academies. Players at all levels are now using AI-powered mats and apps to train smarter, not harder. But here's the untold part. Some of the biggest clubs, PSG, Real Madrid, even smaller academies, are using AI to create digital twins of their players. They simulate opponents, game scenarios, and even fatigue conditions before the match starts. It's like having a crystal ball for your performance. And the best part? You don't need $1 million budget to access this tech. You just need to know where to look. So if you're still training like it's 2010, you're not just falling behind, you're giving your competition an unfair advantage. But there's one more layer to this system, and it's the part most players completely ignore. The psychological edge. Why mental skills separate the best. You've got the skills, you've got the tech, but here's the brutal truth. If your mind isn't trained, your body will never reach its potential. The difference between a good player and a great one isn't just physical, it's mental, and the research proves it. Studies show that psychological skills, self-belief, resilience, focus, and the ability to handle pressure are just as important as physical ability in predicting success. But here's what most players don't know. The best don't just train their bodies, they train their brains like a muscle, and they do it in ways you've probably never even considered. Take visualization, for example. Top players like Oscar from Chelsea don't just watch highlights, they study videos of their own successes to reinforce confidence before matches. It's not about ego, it's real-time verbal feedback to improve skill mastery and motivation on the spot. It's not just good job or try harder, it's specific, immediate, and actionable. The kind of feedback that turns good players into unstoppable ones. But the real game changer? Pressure training. The best players don't just practice skills. They practice them under fatigue, chaos, and psychological stress. Why? Because a match isn't a drill. It's unpredictable, intense, and often decided by who can stay calm when everyone else is cracking. That's why pros use drills like shadow dribbling, dribbling as if a defender is there, forcing split-second decisions and building instincts that kick in when it matters most. And here's the kicker. Most players avoid this. They train when they're fresh, when they're comfortable, when the conditions are perfect. But the pros, they seek out the chaos. They embrace the discomfort because they know that's where real growth happens. So if you're serious about reaching the next level, you can't just train your feet. You've got to train your mind. And that starts with understanding the untold routines of the pros, the ones that happen off the pitch, in the gym, and inside their heads. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, and it's the part that most players get dead wrong. Untold training routines of the pros. You've seen the videos, flashy skills, perfect cones, slow motion shots of players looking like superheroes. But here's the hard truth. That's not how the pros train. What you see on Instagram is a highlight reel. What you don't see is the grind, the chaos, and the relentless focus on the things that actually win games. Let's start with the biggest lie. Solo drills make you a better player. Wrong. The real cheat code isn't practicing alone, it's playing small-sided games. 3 versus 3, 4 versus 4, futsal, anything that forces you into tight spaces with no time to think. Why? Because in a real match, you don't have space. You don't have time. You have defenders in your face, teammates moving, and split seconds to decide. Small-sided games compress hundreds of decisions into minutes. There's no hiding, no coasting, just pure, unfiltered football. And that's why street players from Brazil or Argentina often dominate academy players. They've spent years making decisions under pressure, not perfecting stepovers in their backyard. Next, let's talk about position-specific workouts. Most players train the same way, regardless of their role. But the pros? Their routines are radically different. Strikers focus on explosive bursts and finishing under fatigue. Midfielders drill passing patterns and spatial awareness. Defenders work on reaction time and body shape. If you're a winger doing goalkeeper drills, you're wasting your time. And then there's recovery, the part nobody talks about. Cryotherapy, flotation tanks, personalized nutrition plans. These aren't luxuries for the elite, they're necessities. After a brutal session, some players hit the ice baths. Others use compression tech or meditation to reset their minds. Recovery isn't lazy, it's strategic, because the player who recovers faster trains harder, and the player who trains harder wins. But here's the real kicker. The best players don't just train, they study. They watch film not as fans, but as students. They pause, rewind, and ask, why did he pass there? How did he know the defender was coming? Why didn't he dribble? Most players watch a match and move on. The pros, they dissect it. Football IQ isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. So if you're still training like it's a solo sport, if you're avoiding the chaos, if you're skipping recovery, you're not just falling behind, you're giving everyone else an advantage, and that's a mistake you can't afford to make. But there's one more layer to this, and it's the part that might shock you the most. Untold training routines of the pros. You've seen the videos, flashy skills, perfect cones, slow motion shots of players looking like superheroes. But here's the hard truth. That's not how the pros train. What you see on Instagram is a highlight reel. What you don't see is the grind, the chaos, and the relentless focus on the things that actually win games. Drill hacks. What the pros do differently. Small-sided games are king. The real cheat code isn't solo drills, it's 3v3, 4v4, or futsal. These games force you into tight spaces with no time to think, compressing hundreds of decisions into minutes. No hiding, no coasting, just pure, unfiltered football. Street players from Brazil or Argentina often outplay academy players because they've spent years making split-second decisions under pressure, not perfecting stepovers in their backyard. Position-specific workouts. Most players train the same way, regardless of their role. But the pros, their routines are radically different. Strikers focus on explosive bursts and finishing under fatigue. Midfielders drill passing patterns and spatial awareness. Defenders work on reaction time and body shape. If you're a winger doing goalkeeper drills, you're wasting your time. Weak foot neglect equals half a player. How many times have you seen a player panic when the ball comes to their bad side? Too many. The pros don't have a weak foot. They have two tools. Train both sides religiously. If you're only comfortable on one foot, you're only half a player. Recovery isn't lazy, it's strategic. Cryotherapy, flotation tanks, personalized nutrition. These aren't luxuries for the elite, they're necessities. The player who recovers faster trains harder, and the player who trains harder wins. Film study like a pro. The best players don't just watch matches, they dissect them. Pause, rewind, and ask, why did he make that run? How did he know the defender was out of position? Most players watch for entertainment. The pros watch it like a masterclass. The tactical awareness nobody teaches. You can dribble, you can pass, you can shoot, but if you don't understand where to be, when to move, and why, you're just a player with skills, not a player who wins. Here's the truth. Football isn't just about what you do with the ball, it's about what you do without it. The best players don't just see the ball, they see space, angles, and the game unfolding before it happens. They know when to drop, when to press, when to hold their position, and when to explode into space. And here's the kicker. This isn't talent, it's trained awareness. Most players never work on this. They run to the ball, chase the game, and hope for the best. But the pros, they scan the field constantly. Every 2 to 3 seconds, their heads are up, reading the game like a chessboard. They're not just looking at the ball, they're tracking defenders, teammates, and the gaps that are about to open. If you're not scanning, you're not playing, you're reacting. And in football, reacting is too late. So how do you train this? Start with triggers. Before you receive the ball, look left and right. Before you pass, check your shoulders. Force yourself to take in information before you need it. Use drills like wall interceptions, where you pass the ball against a wall and react instantly to control or intercept it, just like in a real game. Or play 2 versus 1 defending in tight spaces, where you have to read the attacker's body shape and cut off the pass before it happens.
And then there's film study. Not just watching matches, but studying them. Pause the game. Ask yourself, why did he make that run? How did he know the defender was out of position? Why did the midfielder drop instead of pressing? Most players watch football for entertainment. The pros watch it like a masterclass. If you want to play at the next level, the one that ties it all together and turns training into transformation. You've got the system, you've got the secrets, but here's the raw truth. None of it matters if you don't show up every single day. Talent is overrated, luck is a myth. The only thing that separates the players who make it from the ones who don't is consistency. Not just in training, but in how you think, how you recover, and who you surround yourself with. The best players aren't born. They're built through daily, relentless, intentional practice. And they don't do it alone. They join communities, pickup games, small-sided matches, training groups, where every session pushes them. They track their progress, not just in wins and losses, but in the details. Their first touch under pressure, their scanning habits, their weak foot confidence. They embrace the grind, the chaos, and the discomfort because they know that's where growth happens. So here's your moment, right now. You can close this video and go back to training like everyone else, or you can commit to the system. Master the fundamentals under pressure. Use tech to train smarter. Build your football IQ. Embrace the chaos, and surround yourself with players who push you to be better. The question isn't if this works, it's whether you're willing to do what 99% won't. So what's it going to be? Are you in? And don't forget, if you're serious about taking your game pro, your free 1 versus 1 playbook is waiting. Click the very first link below and start mastering pressure situations today. And drop a comment below. What's the first change you're making to your training after this video? I will respond to every comment.